Hello, welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, Poetry History, a thought for the day, all in my one book. PoetryChangesLives.com is the website where you can buy the book if you have a mind to. Well, today we're talking about the wonderful, unbeatable, in my view, Roman poet Publius Virgilius Maro, known in common parlance as Virgil, who died on this day in the year 19 BC. That's just over 2,000 years ago, of course. He was a shy and retiring bachelor from northern Italy who never served as a soldier because he was too sickly and weak, even though he lived through the civil wars, that dreadful time that ended the Roman Republic with the assassination of Julius Caesar and the establishment of the Roman Empire under the first Emperor Caesar Augustus. Virgil's most famous work, the Aeneid, traces the foundation of Rome back to the fall of Troy and the subsequent wanderings of its hero, the Trojan Aeneas, said to be the father of all Romans. It can thus be seen as a work of propaganda designed to glorify and legitimize the newly created Roman Empire. And so many works of poetry before and since are used to legitimize regimes. That doesn't mean it's not still a wondrous, massively important work of art. Modelled on Homer, another wondrous, massively important work of art, of course. It's a real achievement in its own right. Nevertheless, Virgil's finest poetry is arguably contained not in his Aeneid, but in the Eclogues, another great book of poetry consisting of pastoral poems on idyllic themes, much more lyrical in tone, dealing with the love of shepherds and shepherdesses, that sort of thing, showing Virgil's own love of the countryside. Legend has it that St. Paul, in his travels, visited the tomb of Virgil at Naples and wept over it because he too appreciated the sheer beauty of Virgil's verses, and people ever since have appreciated them. The Eclogues inspired so many subsequent poets, including, of course, Shakespeare, Dante, for that matter. His Il Paradiso talks about a visit to the underworld where the narrator is accompanied by Virgil. I'm going to give you a taste of Virgil in the original Latin, then I'll give you a translation. I think this little passage is so beautiful, and I hope you'll bear with me. If you want to know what Virgil sounded like in the original Latin, I'm going to have a stab at it. Here we are. It comes from Eclogue number 8. Saepibus in nostris, parvam te roscida mala, duxego vesteraram, vidi cum matre legentem, alter ad undecimo, tum me iam accepterat annus, iam fragilis poteram, altera contingere ramos, ut vidi, ut perii, ut me malus abstulit error. I hope you bear with me on that pronunciation. In translation, it goes like this, and I find it amazingly moving. It's just a simple account of a young boy's love for a very young girl. In our orchard, I saw you picking dewy apples with your mother. I was showing you the way. I had just turned 12 years old, and I could reach the brittle branches even from the ground. but how I watched you, how I fell in love, how an awful madness swept me away. Just so charming and sweet, I think. It's great to think that 2,000 years ago, people were talking about that sort of thing, teenage love. I find it very reassuring and moving. Today I pray that I will be inspired and grateful for all the poetry in the world. Thanks for listening.